Hey, Colabcoaching yet again to share some wise words of wisdom for the week. It's week number 2 of the Define Your Success series. Define Your Success. Now this week, like a lot of my week 2s, I tend to go a little bit deeper, get more specific. So the question slash thought I have for you this week is, why is success so important? Why is success so important? As I said last week, our society literally says success is all you need to survive. Literally. I mean, they're not saying in those exact words, but hey, maybe some people are saying that in that exact wording. But at least what I was raised with, and I was taught that you have to be successful in whatever you do always. Now, there are people that say just being all right and being okay and being average is good enough. That's perfectly fine for them as well. But when I was growing up and I was being raised, I had to be excellent in school. I had to be excellent in whatever I did, whether it's helping at the church or excellent in relationships and things of that nature. I was raised that everything that you do has to be successful. Now, in reality, that is not the case. That is not the case at all. Because more times than not, we will fail more than we succeed. That's the hard pill to swallow. But more times than not, you will fail more than you succeed. Now, I'm not disregarding success. As I said last week, when you are successful, you should take the time to appreciate that. Bask in that moment. Be aware of your surroundings, how you feel, what it in your mind, what you thinking, the strategies that it took for you to get there. Bask in those moments, the lessons that you learned. But that doesn't mean you should just sit and stay in that moment of success that you felt at that time. There are more successes for you to reach. There are more successes for you to reach. And that's the importance of success. Success is that milestone that you hit. It's that accomplishment you've been looking forward to. It's that moment of clarity that gave you the understanding of reaching new heights and new levels. Success is valuable, but so is failure. Failure, now let's break down failure. Failure is something that you didn't succeed in. It's the complete opposite. You not accomplishing something that you set your heart on, set your mind on, set your spirit on. You not excelling at that level that you thought you would. And maybe you set expectations for yourself, and unfortunately, you didn't meet those expectations. Failure does not mean it's over. Again, I'll say it again. Failure does not mean it's over. Failure is a teacher, just like success is a teacher. These two teachers, they go hand in hand, positive, negative, yin and yang, whatever you want to call it. They are the most vital teachers in their journey called life. The reason why they're so vital is because they literally give you the rubric. They give you the bullet points for you to write down to say, hey, I failed, and now it's time for me to figure out why I failed. Yes, it might be some out of chance. It might be other people putting their hands in your success or your failures. That's true. But at least it gives you the chance to actually figure out what went wrong. And that's why I value failure so much, because yeah, I'm excelling in certain things in my life. I'm doing great, but I failed a lot. I failed a lot. A quick story is that I graduated undergrad, and it was by the grace of God that I graduated undergrad, because initially I wanted to become a biology major, but I honestly flunked out my first semester of college because my GPA was so low. They gave me a probationary period to come back my second year. And I had to bust my butt to take all the right classes. And that's when I fell in love with sociology. And that led me to therapy. And that led me to counseling and all this different stuff. And I wanted to work with people. And that's what brought me to my master's program. That's why I got my master's in rehabilitation counseling. But I failed. I literally failed. I literally had to, because I had probation my first year of college, I had to go get a separate loan outside of student loans. I had to get a loan from the bank just so I was able to go back to school. Thank God, and because I learned from those failures, I took more consideration to school. Of course, me coming out of high school, going to my freshman year, all I cared about was partying. All I cared about was talking to girls. All I cared about was just having a good time, and I didn't take it as serious as I needed to. But rest assured, That second year, after the shame that I brought to my family, the shame I brought to myself, I said, you know what? I have to do something different. And because I failed, I was able to have the right understanding and the right strategies to study the best of my ability. That's when I went to study groups more. That's when I went to get tutors. That's when I went to talk to professors personally when they had their time in their offices, just to learn what I need to learn. That what was I doing wrong, and how can I get better and pass and graduate. And long story short, because I failed, I was able to succeed. That doesn't mean that this has to be your story. This is just an example of what I went through. But think about your story while we're sitting here. You're listening to me. Think about your story. Those moments you failed, did you actually learn something from those failures? Or did you just say, oh, well, it just happened. Oh, well, that was it. Oh, well, that route wasn't meant for me. And that, no. Did you actually take the time to actually understand why you failed? Because most of the time when we take the time to figure out why we failed, we were able to exceed more, be more successful in higher levels, in higher frequencies. That way we continue to go up that ladder of success. Sometimes, this is not everybody, I have seen this as being a coach. Sometimes people love to highlight that one success that they really worked hard for. Not to say you shouldn't highlight it, but it doesn't mean you should stop at that one mark. I'm gonna keep harping on this idea till the end of this series, because there's so many people that think that just because you're successful in one thing does means that you can't be successful in another thing. You're not here on this earth to just be successful at one little thing and that's it. The world is huge. Ideas are endless. People that you meet are vast in millions and billions. You haven't even been to all the places in the world yet. Why do you think that just because you're successful in one thing that's the end of your life? That's your end all be all. That's your glory moment. That's your magnum opus. That your crescendo in your life. Your climax of who you're meant to be as a person. No, we still have so much ahead of us. Yeah, we don't know what tomorrow brings. I don't. But at least you're giving yourself the opportunity to be successful in the future. Don't stop on that one success. Learn from success. And I'll just break down how we can learn from success. Why success is so important is because you're able to learn that success is real. You're able to understand that success is legitimate. All that work that you do, all the effort you put into, all that time that you focused on, all the time you talk to people, try to learn, all of that is fruitful. And it's important because it now teaches you that, okay, I set the stage. I set the bar. I know exactly how far I can go because I achieved this. And if I achieve this, then I know I can move forward. Like for me, I know that I achieved graduated high school. And because I graduated high school, I know that I can at least try to go to college. And once I try to go to college, I know that I can make it to grad school. And when I made it to grad school, I even applied to get a PhD. Of course, I didn't get it because it was a small program, and I get it. My GPA wasn't the highest. I didn't do whatever reason it may be. I know that at least I had the opportunity to succeed in it and give it my best to try. And I failed. I failed to go to PhD school for counseling and therapy, but that's okay because then it opened me to another avenue to becoming a coach. I failed in one end, learned exactly how I can pinpoint to become the best person I can be to succeed in another avenue of being a relationship coach and creating a business and being an entrepreneur. What I'm boiling it all down to in the simplest way possible, I can give it to you, is success is important because it allows you to understand the biggest teachers in life, failure and success. Failure teaches you how to become better to succeed. Succeeding and being successful teaches you that you only are the person that sets the bar. If you stop at that certain level of success that you achieved in the past, that's as far as you'll go. If you set the bar so high that you don't even believe and understand how high you can go because you know that the sky's the limit, the sky's the limit. It's all up to you. It's all what you believe, and what you believe so will happen. At least that's what I see. At least that's what I've seen in my life. So if you're watching me and you're like, okay, yes, I know success is important. I know that I want to be successful. I know that even though I fail, I can still succeed by learning lessons, but I'm still not getting it all. Just remember this. If you can't take anything out of this video, get this, write it down. That way you will never forget it. Success is what you make of it. Failure is what fuels you to become successful. Success is what you make of it. Failure is what fuels you to be successful. But you have to learn from failure and learn from success so you can appreciate the journey ahead of you and the journey in the past. Simple as that. So, who am I? I'm the collab coach. I know I haven't said this in a while, but let's bring it back. It's 2022. I'm the collab coach. I'm a relationship coach. But I don't only focus on intimate relationships. I focus on relationships with your friends, your families, your neighbors, and the most important relationship of all, with yourself. Go to my website, yourcollabcoach.com, if you're ready to start coaching. I'm have availability for the month of February. Go to sign up for that free 15-minute coaching session. Fill out that relationship checklist to see what areas in your life that you need help with. If you need help with success or something else. All my videos are on YouTube. Just type in Collab Coaching, like and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next video. Facebook, I'm on there as well. Instagram, I'm on there as well. And I'm also a co-host in an amazing podcast with Heart and Soul Podcast. We're on all the major podcast stations, and we're on Spotify, the big one. We're on we're on SoundCloud as well. You can see our lovely faces with my friend Jackie on YouTube. Same thing applies with Heart and Soul Podcast. And with that being said, share this with anyone that's struggling to see the beauty of success and why it's so important. I'm here to help them. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.